After the age of 60, even a small change in your diet can have a big impact on your heart, brain, and liver. Yet 7 out of 10 older adults in the U.S. are unknowingly accumulating toxins every single day just by storing the wrong foods in the fridge. And no, we're not talking about canned goods or fast food. We're talking about everyday foods like potatoes, tomatoes, bread, and bananas, the ones you believe will last longer and be healthier when kept cold. But the truth is just the opposite. Did you know that storing potatoes in the fridge can lead to the formation of acrylamide, a compound the WHO classifies as a potential carcinogen? Or that garlic stored improperly can foster botulinum bacteria, which causes nerve paralysis? And when tomatoes, honey, or bananas are chilled, they lose their natural structure, break down vital antioxidants, and can raise inflammation and blood sugar levels. The most concerning part, most people don't realize any of this until their bodies start showing signs of weakness. So, what are the 7 foods you should never store in the fridge? And how should you store them to truly protect your health after 60,000? Which state are you from in the U.S.? If you've ever stored potatoes, tomatoes, or bread in the fridge thinking it was the smart thing to do, type check in the comments. I'll personally respond to each comment and help you start protecting your health the right way. Today, have you ever stored raw potatoes in the fridge to make them last longer? Many people over 60 do this, believing it's the safest way to keep them fresh. But what you may not realize is that this simple habit could be quietly harming your body. Cold storage can trigger a chemical change in potatoes, turning their natural starches into sugars. When those sugars are later exposed to high heat during frying, baking, or roasting, they form acrylamide, a chemical classified by the World Health Organization as a probable carcinogen. After the age of 60, your liver and digestive system don't work as efficiently as they used to. That means toxins like acrylamide stay in your system longer, slowly fueling fatigue, inflammation, brain fog, and even raising cancer risk. I remember hearing from Linda, 67, who roasted potatoes for her grandkids every weekend. She stored them in the fridge for convenience, never thinking it could be harmful. But when her doctor flagged rising inflammation and early signs of fatty liver, she began to question her habits. The truth shocked her. So what's the better way? Keep your potatoes in a cool, dry, and dark space like a cloth-lined basket in the pantry. Use them within 2 to 3 weeks. And cook them gently steaming or baking at lower temperatures, not frying until crisp. This small change can bring powerful results: more energy, less inflammation, and better sleep. Have you ever stored potatoes in the fridge? If so, type check in the comments. I'll respond to each one, step by step, to help you make safer choices starting today. You've probably heard that garlic is nature's antibiotic, and for good reason. It's been used for centuries to support immunity, reduce cholesterol, and fight off colds. But what if I told you that storing garlic the wrong way could turn it into a silent threat, especially for people over 60? It sounds hard to believe, but it's true. Many older adults, thinking they're being efficient, pre-peel garlic and store it in sealed containers in the fridge, or worse, they preserve it in oil and forget about it. What happens next isn't just unpleasant, it can be dangerous. In low oxygen, cool, and moist environments, garlic can foster the growth of Clostridium botulinum, a bacteria that produces botulinum toxin. This toxin doesn't just upset your stomach, it can cause muscle paralysis, blurred vision, and in severe cases, even respiratory failure. After 60, your nervous system is more vulnerable, and your body can't fight off such invaders as quickly. Symptoms can be vague at first: fatigue, dizziness, or difficulty swallowing, so it's easy to miss the warning signs. A small jar of garlic oil, left too long on the counter, nearly sent a 72-year-old woman in Michigan to the ICU. She thought she was making a healthy choice, but it backfired. The good news is there's a safe way to enjoy garlic without the risk. Store fresh, unpeeled bulbs in a dry, well-ventilated space away from the fridge. Only peel right before using, and if you do store garlic in oil, freeze it and use it within a week. This one habit, just changing how you store garlic, can help you avoid serious health threats and keep your meals flavorful and safe. Did you ever store garlic in oil or in the fridge? Type check in the comments if you have, and I'll share exactly what to do next to keep your kitchen safe. And if that surprised you, wait until you hear what happens to bread. That's up next. If you find these insights helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It helps us share this knowledge with more seniors, and it ensures you won't miss the next life-changing health tips. Bread is comfort food. For many older adults, it's a staple, soft, familiar, easy to digest. But what if storing bread in the fridge, hoping it lasts longer, is actually setting you up for inflammation, fatigue, and unstable blood sugar? After 60, metabolism slows, and our bodies become more sensitive to what we eat. And bread, especially when stored cold, can quietly turn against us. When you refrigerate bread, it doesn't stop aging. It just ages differently. The starches inside undergo a process called retrogradation, causing them to harden and making the bread tougher and harder to digest. This leads to bloating, sluggishness, and inconsistent blood sugar. If you're managing prediabetes or diabetes, this seemingly small habit becomes a hidden danger. Even worse, certain types of bread, especially white bread, are more likely to develop mold in cool, damp environments. And mold isn't always visible. It can grow deep inside the loaf, releasing toxins that burden your liver, weaken your immunity, and leave you feeling drained. So, what's the safer way? Store your bread at room temperature in a paper or cloth bag with airflow. Eat within 3 to 4 days. If you need to keep it longer, freeze it, not refrigerate it, and toast only what you need. You'll feel lighter, more energetic, and more stable throughout the day. Bread isn't the problem. Misunderstanding how to store it is. Have you been keeping bread in the fridge, thinking it was better? Type check in the comments if you have. I'll walk you through safer options that are kinder to your body, especially after 60. And next, we'll uncover a fruit that seems perfectly safe, but might be quietly stealing your sleep. You probably think bananas are one of the safest fruits. Soft, easy to eat, rich in potassium, good for the heart. But if you've been storing bananas in the fridge, you might be turning this gentle fruit into a silent disruptor. After 60, sleep becomes fragile, waking up in the middle of the night, lying wide awake until morning. Most people chalk it up to aging. But few realize that the fruit they eat every morning or keep chilled in the fridge could be quietly worsening their insomnia. When bananas are stored in a cold environment, their skin darkens while internal chemical changes take place. Cold-stored bananas release more histamine, a compound that can disrupt sleep, especially in sensitive individuals. Worse, the natural sugars in overly ripe, cold bananas can cause subtle nighttime blood sugar spikes. This can trigger restless sleep or sudden wakefulness in the middle of the night. And there's more. Chilled bananas lose their natural digestive enzymes. The result, a heavy, bloated feeling. You feel full but sluggish. Sleep becomes more difficult. Morning energy disappears. So what should you do? Keep bananas at room temperature in a dry place. Eat them when they're just ripe, ideally before 5 p.m. If you struggle with sleep, avoid cold bananas in the evening altogether. You'll likely notice deeper sleep, fewer night wakings, and clearer mornings. Have you been storing bananas in the fridge thinking it was the healthier choice? If so, comment check below. I'll share the best way to store them to support your body, especially after it all. And next, we'll uncover an unexpected culprit. A food so common, yet it may be silently wearing down your liver day after day. If you found this content helpful and want to support more videos like this for the senior community, consider a small donation like buying me a coffee through the link below. Even the smallest gesture means the world and helps keep this journey going strong. Honey sweet, natural, and easy to use. For many people over 60, it's considered a golden remedy, mixed with tea, infused with garlic, or simply a spoonful each morning. But are you keeping honey in the fridge? It sounds logical. Cold storage helps it last longer, right? But the truth is, refrigerating honey causes it to crystallize quickly, forming hard sugar-like granules and disrupting its natural enzymes. That means you lose its most valuable properties, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, just when your aging body needs them most. It doesn't stop there. When crystallized in a cool, moist environment, honey can start fermenting. This releases mild acids and alcohol. For seniors, especially those on medication with liver sensitivity or blood pressure issues, this can quietly harm digestion, stress the liver, and increase fatigue. Several people have told me they started feeling bloated or developed a bitter taste in the mouth after taking cold honey. They thought it was detoxing, but it was actually building up toxins instead. So here's what to do. Store honey at room temperature in a sealed container away from direct light. If it crystallizes, don't worry. Just place the jar in warm water around 104-22 degrees. Stir gently, and it will return to liquid without losing its healing properties. Have you ever kept honey in the fridge to make it last? If you have, comment check below. I'll show you safer ways to use honey that are gentler and more effective for your body after 60. And coming up next, we'll talk about a food that seems harmless, but may be quietly raising your blood sugar and blood pressure every single day. Tomatoes juicy, vibrant, often called miracle food for the skin and heart. Many people over 60 include them in their daily routine, from salads to juices. But one common mistake slips by unnoticed: storing tomatoes in the fridge. At first glance, refrigerating tomatoes seems practical. It keeps them from spoiling, right? But in truth, cold temperatures damage the delicate cell structure of tomatoes, causing what scientists call chill injury. The result? Their natural sweetness fades, their texture turns mealy, and worse valuable nutrients begin to vanish. One study from the University of California found that storing tomatoes below 50 degrees causes up to a 65% drop in antioxidants like lycopene within just a few days. For older adults, this is crucial. Lycopene supports heart health, fights inflammation, and helps guard against certain cancers. Losing it means losing a key defense your body needs more than ever after 60 tons. That's not all. Cold tomatoes can slow down your digestion, especially if eaten on an empty stomach or early in the morning. This can trigger bloating, light acid reflux, or discomfort issues that become more common with age. So what should you do instead? Store tomatoes at room temperature, away from direct sunlight. If they've already been in the fridge, leave them out for an hour or two before eating. This helps restore some of their original flavor and digestive benefits. Have you been keeping tomatoes in the fridge out of fear they'll go bad? If so, comment check below. I'll share better ways to use tomatoes to unlock their full potential without sabotaging your health. Next, we'll explore a breakfast favorite you probably eat with confidence. Yet it may be quietly affecting your blood pressure and brain every single day. Bread quick, convenient, easy to eat. For many older adults, it's a go-to breakfast, especially on mornings when cooking feels like too much. But by storing bread in the fridge, could you be quietly turning this simple meal into something that spikes your blood pressure or blood sugar? The truth is, refrigerating bread causes it to dry out faster and alters the structure of starches, making them harder to digest. For people over 60 whose digestive systems are naturally more sensitive, this can lead to bloating, sluggish digestion, and even sudden spikes in blood sugar, especially risky for those managing prediabetes or hypertension. And if your bread contains fillings like deli meat, sausage, or cheese, improper cold storage becomes even more dangerous. Harmful bacteria can grow silently, even when there's no visible mold or smell. For seniors with weakened immunity, this could mean mild intestinal inflammation, diarrhea, or in more serious cases, full-body infections. So what's the best way to store it? Keep your bread at room temperature in a sealed paper bag or airtight container, and try to eat it within 2 to 3 days. If you need to keep it longer, freeze it instead of refrigerating. When ready to eat, toast it lightly. This reactivates enzymes that aid digestion and gives it that comforting crunch. Have you ever kept bread in the fridge thinking it would stay fresh longer? If so, comment, check below. I'll show you how to make the most of your bread without adding stress to your digestion, blood pressure, or blood sugar. And coming up, we'll talk about a fruit often praised for sleep support, but when stored the wrong way, it may actually disrupt your sleep and leave you tired for days. Today, we uncovered something that many people often overlook, especially after 60, the way we store food. From potatoes to tomatoes, bread to bananas. Simple habits like putting them in the fridge might seem harmless, but could quietly harm your heart, liver, brain, and blood sugar. Now, you know the 8 foods that should never be refrigerated, and how small changes can lead to big health protection. The fact that you've stayed with me until the end says a lot. You care. You're not giving in to age. You're someone who wants to live healthy, live clearly, live in control. And I want you to remember you're not alone. There are millions just like you, learning, adjusting, and growing stronger every day. One small step at a time. If this video helped you rethink even one kitchen habit, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs it. Where in the U.S. are you watching from? If you've ever stored potatoes, tomatoes, or bread in the fridge, comment, check below. I read and respond to every comment. And before you go, ask yourself, how many other daily habits might be silently wearing down your body without you knowing it? Stay tuned for the next video. You deserve to know the truth. If you found this helpful and want to support me in continuing to create quality content for the 60+ community, feel free to leave a kind word or send a small donation through the link in the description. I truly appreciate every gesture,